everyone, it's Kerri-Ann and I'm back with you today to show you some more new products. I'm really excited to share these with you because I could not wait to get my own set home. I saw these at the trade show and I was really impressed with them and I got to have a little look at how they work. And also you may have seen them on TV channel, Hochanda, with Paula. She was showing you these and they are just amazing. They're absolutely fantastic and I'm so pleased to have got hold of a set of each of the colours. So as you can see, they are NUVO Watercolour Pencils. Now there's two sets. This is the Brilliantly Vibrant and then there's the Hair and Skin Tone set as well. So I'll give you a quick look. Obviously the tin, just beautiful, really nice and sturdy and solid, and also it gives you the colours on the front, which I love as well. You will see that they are a white pencil and you've got the colour at the bottom and the name as well, and then obviously mine are used but they come with nice fresh nibs at the end. Obviously these have been used quite a bit in practicing and testing and also in the sample chart that I'm going to show you in a minute. So that's a quick look at the Brilliantly Vibrant, and then here's a quick look at the Hair and Skin Tones. There you go. So you can see those as well. Now what I have got here is the Aqua Flow Pen. So this is the medium brush nib and I've been using this to create the sample chart that I'm going to share with you now. Now this shows the hair and skin tones in the watercolour pencils. You can download these charts from the Tonic Facebook group. It's official Tonic Facebook group or something like that. I'll put a link to it in the description. I have downloaded it and printed it onto some watercolour card. Now the watercolour card and the pencils are both available from Imagine Design Create, the website, and I have just run this through the printer and it's printed directly onto it, as you can see. But what you could do if you can't print onto watercolour card, if your printer doesn't take watercolour card, is you could chop out little parts and stick them on top of a printed out sheet. So I find that having these sample sheets near me when I am working are brilliant, because it means then I know exactly what I can do with the colours. And as you can see, what I've done is I've drawn in pencil first to give me a look of what it looks like shaded, and then what I've done is I've drawn it out with the water pen so that I can see what shades I can get. Now I'm going to be completely and utterly honest here because I can be, and I'm not any part of Tonic. I'm just me, I'm just Kerri-Ann. I sell the products in my shop obviously, but I only sell products in my shop that I'm happy with and I enjoy using, and I only sell products that I'm confident with. But I'm always going to be honest to you about the product. Now what I have found, obviously having worked with lots of different watercolour pencils before, now here I'm just going to show you whilst I'm talking the Brilliantly Vibrant colours. So I've done the sample sheet slightly different in that I've scribbled next to it, and then what I did was scribble here and then pulled the colour out. Now as I say, I'm going to be honest. You will notice that there's one on this sheet that I wasn't particularly pleased with. Now, I don't know if this was me, because I'm not, I'm not an artist. I have got an art degree and I have worked with watercolour pencils a lot before, but I'm not claiming to be amazing. Now, I could have applied it wrong. I could have put the pencil down in an incorrect way and then tried to draw it out and left it too long or something like that. Or that colour isn't as high quality as the rest, because you'll see with the rest that when you pull it out, the shading underneath is almost gone. Whereas with the green, it was kind of like it was too waxy to pull out the colour. So although I've got a lovely shading, if you're going to be using these directly onto your watercolour card and then pull the colour out, I would say don't push too hard into the paper, because I think that's where I went wrong. I think I pushed too hard into the grain of the paper, then tried to pull it out with the water brush. If you're going to be applying the pencil directly onto the coloured image or stamped image that you're using, I would suggest doing it very lightly and moving it around straight away with the watercolour brush, rather than scribbling in hard, which is I think where I went wrong. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's where I went wrong, because it worked with all the others without any problem, and then just with that green I just had a few issues. So I don't know if it's the pencil or me, but there you go. I'm just being honest, as I do in all my videos. Now I you know, that aside, absolutely love these pencils. And there's lots of different ways you can use them. So as I was saying, you can apply them to the paper, then pull the colour out. You can use them as a sort of pencil. But you can also scribble onto a separate piece of card, pick up the colour and then colour with it. So if you want to use them as a watercolour pencil, but rather than scribble in and then use a water, why don't you scribble onto a piece of paper, pick it up with water and then move it around? Now what I mean by that, if I can grab a piece of plain card, is you can move them around off the page. Now this is plain card, this isn't watercolour card, so I'm just going to pop that to the side and I'm going to use a colour that is strong enough hopefully for you to see. Now I'm just going to scribble it up here. And I'll say again, this is not watercolour card, this is normal card. Now what I'm going to do is move it around and look how luscious and look how well that moves around on just normal card, not watercolour card, normal card, and it moves really, really well. And you can get a really good variation and shading. Really, really impressed with these. Now the other thing is, what I was saying is you can use it as a sort of a palette to the side. So if you've just got a bit of paper, why don't you put a droplet of water, move this around and use it as a palette, mix it up and then start shading with it in your stamped image. You see? So you can essentially shade and pick up the colour and use it as a painting palette. So you don't have to shade in with the pencils first. You can just use them as if you were using watercolour paints. And that's what I was trying to say, is you don't have to use it in the technique of shading and then moving. You can create yourself a mini palette by just scribbling a little bit on, mixing it with the water and completely moving it to a different area. Now to go a bit further, what I will do is I will find something really quick and easy. I'm going to find a little stamped alien. Now if you like the alien, he's in another one of my videos. And I'll try and find the link and put that in the description as well. So I'm just going to use this, as I say, as if it's a palette. So I've got a little drop of water there. I'm going to mix it in with the blue and give myself some blue and start colouring with the watercolour from the pencil. So again, picking it up and just shading it in. And this is what I love about these pencils, is essentially you're completely in control. You can colour either, like I say, by adding shade in with the pencil or picking it up and use it as if it's a paint, which is just amazing considering it's a pencil. Now this is just one way that you can use them. There's lots of other ways and there's lots of other fantastic videos on YouTube of how to use these NUVO watercolour pencils, but I just wanted to show you my experience of them. So that you can see them in action. So I'm just going to put a bit more there and pick it up and start moving it around. And then don't forget, you can go back over and you can keep getting more and more shade and you can get darker and darker effects by using more of the blue, or you can come in and just give it a bit of shading directly onto wet card as well. That looks quite nice, as you can see, and blend it out with the watercolour brush so it's not so harsh. I'm just going to finish colouring in little alien here. I'm not being too fussy, I'm not getting this exactly perfect because I just want to show you the colouring here. And also because I'm filming in the shop today and I don't know when the next person's going to walk through the door because it's been quite a busy day. And I was just trying to grab a quick 5 minutes so I could show you these. So again, you can go on to the damp areas where I've just watercoloured to give a bit more shading if you want to. Or you can come back on here and pick up an extra load of the darker and just bring it back in and keep layering on until you're happy with the shading that you've got. So have a play with it, build it up and see where you want to go and how dark you want to make it. But you can just see it works so well. I just love that you can come back in even on the damp and get some lovely shading. it's really addictive. I'm getting caught up in the colouring element and forgetting that actually I'm supposed to be just giving you a quick look at the pencils, but I really enjoy working with them, and I love the effects that you can get with them. And especially I really like how they look when you colour onto the damp card. I think that the shading you can get with them is just lovely. So a bit more on there. Just going to pick up that shade there just so I can colour his feet in a bit here. Just blend that in. So I could keep going with that if I wanted to and finish him off, but if I just give you a quick look, there you go, Mr. Alien there coloured in the blue. So as I say, these are available now on the Imagine Design Create website, and I will also be doing a blog post about them so you can read a little bit more about them and how I got along with them. And the sample sheets, I'll put a link to those also on the description and in the blog post. So hopefully it's given you a good look at the watercolour pens by Tonic Studios in the NUVO selection. If you've got any questions, don't be afraid to ask, and as always I'd really appreciate any comments and subscribing to my channel if you can. Thanks very much and happy crafting!